Sounds like a plan.
Cool. All right. So a while back, I invited you onto this podcast because it was this thing called the Dawson Den. And it's still called the Dawson Den, but the scope of it's a little different. When I began, the idea of it was to walk you through my den. And I described the den as this kind of command post, both material and ethereal. It's notes that I take, sticky notes on the wall. It's prayer, it's meditation, it's the sleep I get, it's the workouts I do, it's the family time I have. But it's like juggling it all. And I recently described that the feeling of the experience of juggling it all, or they're struggling to juggle it all, when my cousin texted me, older cousin, and he said, "Hey man, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Man, sometimes it just feels like I've got 2 hands and 9 Rubik's Cubes I'm trying to solve at the same time." So then the idea of the den is to set things down on shelves when necessary, and pick things up when necessary, and have like little signs around there, like, do this now, do this later, rest your worries here,
Right, yeah.
Here's your preparation, yada yada yada. And you told me that you had a similar thing that you call home base.
Yeah.
Would you want to describe that?
Yeah, I mean, similar to what you talked about, I think on one hand, it's always good when possible to have like a literal physical place. We've been talking about it as a church as the secret place, but it should always be a spiritual reality. And for me, that spiritual reality is like the solid and secure, tested, trusted things, whether it be based in scripture, whether it be based in your history with God, where you can lean back on. There's a faithfulness to it that it's like, if things are kind of hectic or crazy, or there's 9 Rubik's Cubes to be solved with only 2 hands, then it is a place where you can come and remind yourself that Christ says his yoke is easy and his burden is light. And so then it takes the pressure off of me. I don't know about you, but like one of my biggest struggles is having the feeling of, I have to do this. I have to figure it out. I'm the one who has to carry this load. And then I'm reminded at my home base of, no, wait a minute. Christ says, give your burden to me, So then it's an unloading of things, and then he'll hand back the things that I need to carry in those moments, and he helps me with them, helps me have clarity on them, but it's a place of rest is what I've found. We'll talk a little bit more about it, I think, based on some of the questions you sent as far as reflecting, but a lot of that has to do with that, times of reflection and all that. So
yeah, absolutely. Is there all right, so it's a spiritual space. It's in essence, in an old lingo, it's ethereal. And can you take your secret place on vacation?
Yeah. Well, I'm in an interesting season of life because I've got young kids.
Right.
And so I feel like more than ever, the reality of that place, the home base, the secret place, the den, the reality of that has to be so much more than just a spot on a schedule and a place in a house. It has to be mobile. It has to be flexible. But at the same time, I've grown and learned often through the hard times of it, how great that is, because then you don't feel like you have to retreat. Oh, I can't wait till I get to that place, or I can't wait till this day and time comes, which I think is fine. You should have those moments of like anticipation, but knowing like, wherever you're at, there you are, and so in this moment, in my moment of anxiety, in my moment of feeling overwhelmed, whether I'm on vacation, whether this is my normal work day, whatever it is, I can go to that home base and know like that I can unload my burdens and I can find rest, even if it's for 10 minutes, It's just that opportunity that's always available.
Okay. Super, super cool. I'm going to dig in a little bit to this. The idea of now. the moment to moment, right? So this is when you either schedule like a stillness. No. Or is there times that you schedule stillness throughout your day?
Not enough.
Yeah, I think that could go for all of us.
Yeah.
But otherwise, then you need to find the stillness. You're like introducing that secret place into gaps that you are either filling because it's time where you're maybe transitioning from one task to the next, or you're replacing a sort of anxious attitude in moments of distress where your maybe nervous system's lighting up.
Right.
You're in traffic. I hear so many people like talking about their spiritual journey in traffic.
Yeah. They say the real you comes out, which isn't always a good thing, but
right.
Yeah, it is. It's what I love what you said, like the now and in the moment, and it's an opportunity to either fill in the gaps, and so you're just not wasting time, or replacing the anxiousness or the worry with the opportunity for peace and everything. Because that's the thing. It's never, like, I think what a lot of people miss is when, let's take, for instance, a relationship with God. We know that with that we get peace, but a lot of people have a skewed understanding of, okay, I have anxiety, and I'm going to hold out my hand and expect God to hand me peace. The reality is it doesn't work that way. The opportunity for peace is there, but there's an exchange that has to take place. And as long as you are holding on to something, whether it be that anxiety, that burden, whatever, like there can be no exchange. So the opportunity for peace is always available. And again, home base, den, secret place, like you find it there. But you have to be, it always starts with surrender. And you can't have pride in that place. It's a place, like you said, of rest. It's your guard is down. It's vulnerability. And it's in those moments that you can open your hand and release what you need to release. And then the opportunity comes, okay, I'm going to grab hold of this piece or whatever that is that you're needing.